Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. How are you today? It is Wednesday, May 11th, 2016. People, big news going on today, especially if you have an understanding of where we are now and where we are going. Let's start off with this. Today, we heard from the largest investment bank in the United States, just happens to be the sixth largest on earth, and that is JP Morgan Chase, who is now telling their clients to buy gold, not take out loans or whatever else. They want their clients to buy gold. Now, what are they saying by putting out this kind of advice to their clients to buy gold? JP Morgan Chase is basically saying something is very wrong with the global economy. Understand, this is no secret to any of you that follow this blog here. I think in the grander scheme of things, what JP Morgan Chase is saying is this. World central banks, again, have created maximum distortions across every single asset class here. And there's going to be a price to pay for that. I've spoken about how they've created bubbles in certain parts of the market, in inverse bubbles in other parts of the market. So they've created, again, this environment of distortions which will balance out over time. And I think we're getting very close here. So JP Morgan is saying, buy gold, buy gold. Um, I don't know. I think they're a little behind the curve here, but that's just my take on it. They should have been saying this for quite a while. I would not be surprised to see other investment banks taking the same stance after JP Morgan here. The environment we're in, again, a deliberately engineered environment of risk by world central banks. This is what JP Morgan has to be thinking. Um, has again fostered a very dangerous environment. At one point, and maybe it's very soon, maybe this is what JP Morgan is trying to say, this risk on environment that I've been speaking about for the longest time will turn into a risk off environment, and you're going to see gold and silver make highs which people cannot believe moving forward. Let's talk about a couple of other things that play right into what JP Morgan is saying. We got absolutely abysmal news today with regarding the U.S. consumer, and that has been reflected in the earnings of two major companies. Disney, for example, missed across the board, and as I am doing this video blog, their stock is down about 5%. Macy's also is getting destroyed right now, over 12% losses right now. So a lot of people are probably going to say, oh, so what? You know, these companies, they have all this money. Really? Well, these companies, for those of you that are that brain dead, create jobs for people. So if they're not doing well, what do you think is going to happen to the average worker? Out the door. So Obama's utopian economy of sub 3% growth for his entire presidency is starting to manifest itself, and yet we still have the illusion of the stock market, um, and they're going to do whatever they can to keep it propped up. I went over this so many times lately. What they're doing with crude oil here is monumental, and I talked about this in a video that I did just yesterday. So it's pretty simple, people, and the premise of this entire video is very straightforward. The largest investment bank by assets here in the United States is now telling its clients to buy gold. So that tells me that the risk on environment is going to switch to risk off, like I've been saying for a long time. And in the grand scheme of things, that means the stock market is going to take a wallop. We are going to see bond yields normalize. And what that means, I don't even know. Because if the free market were allowed to dictate fair value for debt, do you think interest rates would be negative? Do you think they would be where they are here in the United States? negative in real terms? Absolutely not. So what would that mean in the grand scheme for other assets? Your house, for example. Well, you think about it. If interest rates were allowed to go higher or normalize, whatever value you believe is in your house right now would be squashed. Okay, something I've been talking about for the longest time. Your 401k plan, your investments squashed. And if you're smart enough to take, okay, maybe it's not Greg Mannarino's advice anymore, but JP Morgan's advice, and start getting involved in investing in assets that are in an inverse bubble. I'm referring to gold and silver. More specifically, in Greg Mannarino's case, it's silver where you should be investing here. It's still and will be, for the foreseeable future, the most undervalued asset in the history of the world, not just now, in world history. So this is where you need to be, in Greg Mannarino's opinion. JP Morgan wants you to buy gold. Greg Mannarino says you should buy silver. But I think we're both on the same page. Anyway, pretty incredible things going on here, people, and we're just going to sit here and watch it all unfold. With that said, I'll see you all soon. Over now.